And here we are for another exciting episode of Soygoy of Cuckad. In this one, we watch as Soygoy laughs nervously when being called out for his bullshit with Metacur.
So Sargon, what's with the fucking fart huffing?
Well, I think Louis explained it.
Well, you can explain it, because does he speak for you?
Yes, he's my minion.
Yeah, not yet. He's got to pay me. The check hasn't cleared yet, so I'm waiting on that.
Jim, honestly, are you not like watching your own reaction to this?
Yeah, all I know is I'm making some jokes on Twitter. I get pulled in here. You're in the comment section, and now you're in the call.
Here, didn't you? I mean, like, this is so weird. Like, should we just let the SJWs carry on unopposed?
Don't say anything against me. You should be focusing on the SJWs.
It'd
oh
be
my God, Sargon! Yeah, we need the freedom fighter of Sargon of Akkad to go win the West for the world.
We don't.
Without
then. Are you saying
you will be in shackles, Sargon?
Social justice, buddy.
Without you, we'll be in shackles. We need you to save us.
What I believe, you agree with, don't you?
Okay, list your beliefs off. Let's go down the list.
Sure. I think we should have individual rights. We should have freedom of opportunity. We should have access to markets, personal responsibility. I mean, are there any things here that you're disagreeing with?
That sounds conservative. I don't think those are liberal principles you're spouting there. It's like when a politician goes up in front of a crowd in America and go, "God bless America." How many people do you think will disagree with you? Alternatively, you could go into a group of SJWs and go, "White men are evil." Whoa, woo!
Well, is there anything that specifically nails that down as liberalism? Is it, like compared to conservatism?
Political philosophy, commonly known as liberalism, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying what differentiates what you just said in the vaguest of terms from conservatism?
I mean, the reason I'm talking about it on these like basic principle level is because the people we're dealing with disagree on the basic principle level.
Didn't you know? I subscribe to a political philosophy more commonly known as liberalism. You asked me for the difference between conservatism and liberalism, but I'm just going to change the subject. It's not because I can't answer the question. It's just that it's not important to me.
And
That's
what
people
are you disagreeing with? Because you talked about your enemies in that video. So who are your enemies?
The SJWs and the alt-right.
Wait, no. So the alt-right is your enemy?
Yeah. Have you not looked at the way they treat me?
Did they not treat you kindly?
Do you think they did?
What a fucking pussy. To honestly say someone is your enemy because they made fun of you is just really sad. I guess Richard Spencer's comment on Sargon's intelligence really got under his skin.
You said you're going to counter SJWs, but the alt-right is also your enemy. So what are you going to do to counter them?
Nothing. They're irrelevant.
So if they're irrelevant, why are they counted amongst your enemies?
Because they're people who oppose me.
Oppose you or liberalism?
Me and liberalism.
How could anybody oppose me? But that's just it. He just says they oppose him. Not why they oppose him. Just they oppose him, so they're enemies. When I think of someone as an enemy, I usually have a list of reasons why they are my enemy. I don't know, just logic.
What I'm going to do to counter them is just advocate like they do. Hold conferences, talk to people, try and put across a set of principles that are more positive than, you know what, it's okay to say fuck white people.
I think Soygoy learned his lesson from the Spencer debate. He's desperately trying to steer clear of arguments that he knows he can't win. And he couldn't win it because the debate wasn't supposed to be a win or lose situation. I'll give you an example. White people want to go away and create their own ethno-state. Why is it wrong? Would it be better if black people did it? Japan's an ethno-state, and from what I've heard from Japan, they want to stay that way. They even cite all the terrorist attacks in Europe as a reason to stay as an ethno-state. As you can see, there are already valid reasons for the argument. It's not as black and white as, oh, this girl said that all white men are evil. How preposterous. Has she even read Locke? Making fun of just outrageous and stupid ideas is easy, but when Soygoy comes across an idea that he thinks is stupid and outlandish, but actually isn't, well, watch the Richard Spencer debate with Sargon and you'll just see.
I think that's a good start, don't you?
Sure.
Oh, I'm glad we're on agreement there.
But Sargon, honestly, and I don't know if anybody else is going to tell you this, so I'm just going to tell you this honestly.
I know what you're going to say. It's cringy. I know.
No, I just think you're getting a little high off your own ego.
Yeah,
and
some of the comments, I would agree with you if like everyone wasn't calling me the leader of something, and I was like, I'm not the leader of something. And everyone's like, yeah, you are the leader of something, and now we're going to act like you're the leader of something. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just be the leader of something. And everyone's like, oh, you can't do that. That's up your own ass. I'm just doing what people are telling me that I am, and that's fine. I'd rather not do any of this. Honestly, I cannot wait to do my shitty video games. You just have no fucking idea how much that costs me. But at the moment, I mean, I heard Louis explaining to you like the depth of the problem of SJWs, and I don't think you're ignorant of it anyway. And so you're something like acting like this is something I want to do, and it's really not.
You know, I just really want to go off and create my video games, but everyone's like, you are the leader of the liberalists. So I'm like, am I? And they're like, yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay then. But I really don't want to do it. I really just want to create my video games. But, And now again, I will offer you a simple solution. Go off and create your video games. Done. You don't need to do what you don't want to do just because someone wants to make you do it, Mr. Individualist. And that's why Soygoy is not leadership material, because he doesn't want to be a leader. Why would anyone want a leader who doesn't want to be a leader? Makes zero sense. But don't you worry, everyone. He has a suit, unlike Mr. Medicare. Does he even own a suit? Has he even met a politician?
Well, you're a proud individualist, right? I mean, you make your own decisions. Why are you letting peer pressure pull you into a direction you don't want to go?
You don't know what an individualist means?
Sargon, I'm saying, why are you letting a group dictate to you what you're doing?
Because I'm not like a Randian objectivist. I'm not an anarchist.
Sargon, you're telling me you don't want to do it. Why are you letting them pressure you into doing it?
Because it needs to be done, Jim. That's fucking why, mate. Do you know in my country they are teaching 4-year-olds about being transgender or not?
Oh, you have a problem, hey? Kind of like those white nationalists that you disagreed with, insulted, and tried to smear. Maybe if you weren't such a fucking arrogant cunt and understood that other people have different opinions because they live different lives and have different objectives, that just because you read Locke and Thomas Jefferson doesn't mean they're gonna think the same way you do once they also read it, just like Richard Spencer. Because the white nationalists also don't like when people say all white men are evil or white people are the problem. But you can't even find commonality in that. Because as Mr. Medicus says, you're high off your own farts. I have a problem? It has to be done. Other people have a problem? How could you even conceive such a disgusting idea?
Yeah, I can imagine that's probably going on in a lot of places.
You think that's a good idea?
No, I would not think that was a good idea.
Maybe someone should do something, right? But I mean, I wouldn't want to be uncool.
So nobody's speaking out against that?
Fucking no, mate. Honestly,
nobody's speaking out against transgender 4-year-olds.
You'll find, I don't know, some conservative politician somewhere who gets roundly lambasted on social media, but they don't know anything about the underlying philosophy. They don't understand any of this.
Only I, Soygoy of Cuckad, could ever understand the underlying philosophy of people wanting to tell 4-year-olds that it's okay to chop your cock off. I am just so high right now, I need some more.
I don't know. It's just the timing of this strikes me as odd, man. I mean, you had the stream with Spencer, and he made fun of you for not being as smart as you think you are. And then the Murdoch video came
That's a
out.
bit of an ironic statement, wasn't it?
Yeah, true. And then the Murdoch video came out and mocked you, for literally becoming an Akira baby.
Okay.
And
I'm sure that's very
the
representative
stepfather meme that's going around. And it's just weird. It almost seems like they're saying you're too dumb to do this, and like you're doing it just to prove them wrong.
Maybe
That's why I find it.
I should just do nothing.
Yes, just like you've been telling him that you wanted to do nothing. You wanted to stay home and create your video games. How can you say so many things contradictory, so close to each other? Like, goddamn! He would like you to believe that Richard Spencer and the Akira baby didn't get under his skin, but oh baby, it did.
Well, you could.
I mean, like, their estimation is very important to me. So
like
I
that.
guess I should regulate myself accordingly. Is that what you're saying?
Well, like I said, Sargon, I'm giving you an honest assessment. I think you're getting way too high off your own ego. I honestly do, based on your comments and some of your actions. I'm just telling you that. You can take it or leave it. That's up to you.
No, but like,
dude, I'm fine.
And I think this is cringy as fuck. And I think that if you perpetuate this for like 6 months to 8 months, the amount of shit you got in the past is going to pale compared to what you're going to get in the future.
I understand, but like your little echo chambers aren't everywhere.
Right back at ya. Just like with Richard Spencer's debate when you said you went to bed, you had a 50-minute cry with some other people that agreed with you.
This is
what echo chambers are
kind of. I don't know about half of the stuff you're talking about. So, like, the whatever it is you're passing around about me, but like, do you not think that
passing
that's
around
weird?
about you?
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Like, you guys say whatever you want. I don't mind. Like,
Well, if you don't know what I'm doing, then how would you know I'm passing around stuff about you?
Because you just brought it up.
So I'm Murdoch now, and I'm Richard Spencer.
Have you not like retweeted something of his?
Well, you wouldn't know, would you?
The fumes from my fart have clouded my judgment. Now I'm just gonna make baseless accusations, which later I will say, oh, but someone did send me something, so I did know all along, but I lied at the start, just because I could. Oh, I might even be lying now, I don't fucking know.
Maybe someone might have sent me something.
Oh, so people are sending you information about what I do?
Only once.
Oh, just the once?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, say again.
I said that, the Richard Spencer saying you were dumber than you think you are, and Murdoch putting the Akira baby video out got to you. And now you're telling me somebody sent you the information that I tweeted that. And then after you get that information, you put the video up. So I was right, man.
Bitch, that is not fucking what you're saying.
I'm being honest with you. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know what Jim's up to, but people send me information about Jim. Dude, come on, don't lie so badly. Jesus, step it up, Sargon.
Are you even trying? Are you even trying?
I lied about something so petty, and now I got caught out, so I'm gonna ask you, are you even trying?
Jim,
am I trying what? You're fucking up left and right. What the fuck are you talking about, Sargon?
Think about what you're saying.
I don't know what you're doing, Jim, but people are sending me information about what you're doing just the once. Sure, buddy, sure.
What is the importance of what you're saying right now?
I just want to know, who do you think you are, coming into my office and thinking that I care about anything you say? It's not even important. Only what I say is important. When I say it, how I say it, who I say it to. It's pretty much the go-to tactic to people who have gotten caught out, have no argument, and just go, but it's not even important. So let's stop discussing my fuck up and move on to something else, please.
Because you fucking lied, Sargon. Because you lied.
It's so asinine, Jim.
Well, then why would you lie about something so petty, Sargon? Wait, it makes no sense.
That's the thing, Jim. You've made this narrative up, and now you're certain you're right.
Yeah, kind of like how you made a narrative about Richard Spencer, but then it turns out you were full of shit. Really full of shit.
And I'm just saying, you're not right, man. I was working on the video all day, but you've now made it up in your head that you're completely correct, and I must be a liar instead of you being wrong.
Don't you know, Jim? The answer's simple. I'm right and you're wrong. Oh, you want evidence? Well, what importance is this argument even? I mean, come on. Are you even trying?
Sargon,
all
you
this
just
is,
told
Jim.
me you don't know what I tweet, and then you told me people send you information, so you do know what I
You
tweet.
referred to a massive body of work, Jim. A large amount of stuff that's
What
going
the
around.
fuck
and
are you
I've
talking
seen,
about, a
like,
massive body of work? My
out
tweets
of
are
the
what
list
people
of
send you,
things
Sargon. Which is
said.
it?
Why is this a point of contention?
Because you lied, Sargon.
I didn't lie. I'm just
Yes, you
explaining
did. I don't know what you're doing, Jim, but people are sending me information about what you're doing. Seems like a lie to me.
Yeah, a tweet, Jim.
Okay, then why would you lie about it?
You think that gives me a comprehensive knowledge of your Twitter history?
All I know, dude, is the timing. You got that. You saw the
Brilliant
tweet,
timing,
people making
man.
fun of
Brilliant
you, and then
timing.
you put the video
It
up.
could be exactly as you say, or it could be how I say, which is I was making the video in the time frame you're thinking of.
He changed his stance multiple times. He was like, oh, you do this, Jim. Oh, I don't know who told me. Oh, people send me stuff. Oh, it's like, well, what the fuck? And just the fact that he can't admit that he lied about knowing what Jim was doing to begin with shows you what a stuck-up prick this guy is. It's like a kid getting caught taking cookies from the cookie jar who has crumbs around his mouth. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But instead of a kid, it's a 38-year-old Soygoy. And what the fuck is he even talking about, referring to a massive body of work? Who the fuck even knows?
I don't know, man. I'm sorry that you're not correct on this.
Oh, God, why do you do that insufferable chuckle shit when you think you're right about something? It's so
Jesus
fucking annoying.
Christ,
Hang on,
It's
hang
so
on.
played out. You did it with Spencer, too, and it was just
Oh my
cringy as
God.
fuck.
Hey,
Like, I understand it's lame to have to do something, to organize something, to stamp something, but if you're not going to do it, Jim, someone's going to fucking have to.
I'm sorry that you're not correct. I'm sorry, Jim, but what I'm doing is so important. But I hate doing it, and I just want to stay at home and play my video games. But someone has to do it, but I really don't want to do it, and everyone told me to do it, so I did it. But I'm an individualist, and if you're going to do it, why don't you just do it? Why don't you just stop having these schmuckle affairs and just fucking do what you're, well, apparently told to do by other people, pussy? And I don't understand why he's trying to, like, shame Jim. It's like, oh, you chose not to do something. You made a choice for the direction of your own life. How could you? Well, I mean, there's a lot of people who don't like this social justice shit. But I mean, you don't see any of them up on the political sphere. And then they're also the ones who go, how could you not take on this burden for me while I sit at home and reap the benefits of your work?
Okay, so the mantle of leadership was thrust upon you, but you'll take it up.
No, it was thrust upon
don't
you,
want
you
to.
pussy, and you shut your channel down. People have been looking to you for leadership for years.
That was their fucking mistake.
Did you not watch
I think
the
you
Lindsay
guys are
Shepherd stuff?
overestimating your abilities. You're acting like, oh my God, we're going to jump in and change the world. You're fucking YouTubers.
nobody
Come on.
fucking
We're probably
said
gonna
that.
fuck it up. We're probably going to fuck it up.
Yeah, and so I'm going to laugh when that happens too.
I don't really understand. Are you more of a pussy for making your own decisions? Or doing something because someone else told you to? They're just trying to shame him to bring them in line because they don't like when he makes fun of them. But I mean, why are you such a pussy? You can't be made fun of because you're now so high and mighty in this apparent political sphere. You're taking on all the responsibility. So what? You know, there are certain countries where if you make fun of the political leader, you get executed. Is that alright? I mean, Soygoy does make fun of people for a living, but he can't take what he dishes out. What? And I definitely agree that Soygoy's really reaching beyond his own capabilities. You just have to watch the Richard Spencer debate to know what his capabilities are.
Great. That's great. And when you're not allowed on the internet because you're an alt-right male, then it won't be a problem, will it?
I guess not. I'll laugh about it in person as I relate the story to my children.
Okay.
We'll have a chuckle about it.
Yeah, I was the last cool kid on the internet, chaps.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him I was the last cool kid on the internet.
That's how you feel, though. Everyone can fucking see it.
Oh yeah, you're telling me what I think? What color am I thinking of, Richard Spencer? Huh? If you know what I'm thinking. And now he's telling Jim what he feels. What a fucking hypocrite. Soygoy really isn't as smart as he thinks he is. And that's a terrible place for him to be. And now what he's just doing is what Kathy Newman was trying to do to Jordan Peterson, just demonize the opposition. Because if everybody thinks they're evil, they are. Because that makes perfect sense.
Oh, is that how I feel?
Mm.
Yeah, this is something else to run away from.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you talking? I'm in the chat right now talking with you. I haven't run away from the fucking stream yet.
Come on. Come on, man.
Well, Sargon, here's the difference. People tried to force me into the position of leadership. I declined. You gave in.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. You gave in.
Yeah, because I don't want my son brainwashed with tranny shit. I don't want them trying to turn him into a girl before he's even 10 years old. Yeah, I'm a fucking pussy that way, Jim.
Why is he trying to act like he actually cares? He just, before, at the start of this argument, said that he doesn't want to do it, but everyone else told him to do it, so he's doing it. But he can't wait until he just doesn't have to do it anymore, so he can go home and play and make his video games. But that won't stop him from getting on his high horse and going, oh, look at me. Look at what I'm doing. But as you can see, the current year, he really hasn't done anything. He's just doing the same old, same old. The only difference is that he's also doing speeches for UKIP where they jerk each other off saying the exact same thing everyone else already agrees with. Look, I'm so brave, going in front of an audience that already agrees with me, rather than arguing with people who don't to try and change their mind, because as I've in multiple debates shown, I am incapable of doing that. Not to mention, someone recorded a conversation with him, V, and a UKIP member who was trying to push Soygoy out because he didn't like the type of people that he brings into the party. If I can remember, it was something like, I've seen the type of people you bring in. They're the type of people who like to sit behind an ideology and just sit there. Not to mention, there's been times when he said, I'm going to take over UKIP from the inside. I was like, well, of course they're trying to distance them and you. You want to take over and use the party for your own personal gain. I'll go over that video in another video.
I think there's more involved than just you being forced in the position. I think you like it a little bit.
No, I fucking hate it. I've literally for years been saying consistently, I just want to make my shitty games. But unfortunately, Jim, I can't just stand by and let this go on. And if no one else is going to do it, who the fuck's going to do it?
Well, you seem to organize This Week in Stupid in a live event pretty easily.
Yeah, that's because I'm pretty good at organizing stuff, actually.
Right, so it's not difficult.
For me, for other people,
Right.
and it's not that it's not difficult, it's just I'm good at that.
You're good at organizing.
I seem to organize This Week in Stupid pretty easily.
Well, yeah, no, I'm talking about events.
That was an event.
Yeah, so I mean, you're good at doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at organizing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, but you're also saying that it's difficult to do this kind of stuff, but if it's easy for you, it wouldn't be difficult, would it?
Oh, you just hate it so much. But you do it because other people tell you, but you just want to go home and make your video games, and so you're an individualist, apparently, but what the fuck's going on? He reminds me of those kids at school who are like, oh, I did so bad in the test. You know, I only studied like 50 hours. And then they get out and there's like a A. It's like, oh, I mean, I could have done better. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Soygoy just wants to brag. Oh, look at me. I'm entering the political sphere, but it's so hard. I just want to go home and play my video games, but somebody's got to do it. So I guess it's going to be me because other people told me to. It's like, God damn, shut up. Not to mention, he's like, oh, it's so hard, but I'm really good at it.
But would it be demonstrably easier to just make videos at home and then collect on Patreon?
Do you even understand, like, it's not it's relative. If someone can have a skill at something that is difficult, and so for them it's less difficult. I mean, this is like levels of pedantry I can't even begin to describe. And you know that you think that what we're doing is actually ultimately going to be beneficial.
Yes, some people are good at things, which makes things easy instead of difficult. As you said, when you said, oh, it's so difficult, but I'm really good at it. So it's easy. Why can't you just admit it? And once again, the Don Sargon entered the mind of a lowly plebeian and said, Jim, you know that what I'm doing is right, because I just told you that it is right. And you're thinking of the color blue.
I don't know whether we're going to be successful, but we're going to have to try and change something.
Oh, man.
The SJWs did it, man. They changed the world. You know, it's not like all it is ideas. All we just have to do is make convincing arguments and persuade people that maybe, just maybe, getting a child to self-castrate is a problem.
Okay.
I really don't think you're going to be the one to change people's minds, though. Because, I mean, you got the Richard Spencer debate, you got this one, you got the one at MythCon where you're telling a guy to shut up, shut up, shut up! And then you have the debate with Christy and Kevin on their political program, where you just make a complete fool out of yourself, and then you have more on the Ralph retort. It's just like, mate, please stop. You're not helping. Where you actually do something is in your SJW videos. Let's just use the quartering as an example. Guy gets beaten up by tranny for having a differing opinion. Well, you know, that's kind of shit. And so, yeah, it's pretty easy for you. I mean, real debates are kind of hard.
This whole thing is absurd. I don't know how you two don't see that.
There are already MPs who are engaging with YouTubers and things, and it's even smaller groups. I don't understand why you think this is a big deal. You know, it's just like, I don't understand. Like, how are you okay with what the SJWs are doing? Do you think it would be better to be like not lame than try and stop them?
What the fuck? You're not doing what I want you to. Are you okay? Do you actually want these people to win is what I'm going to say, because you're not doing what I want you to do. Well, I've seen some of Jim's video and he just makes fun of stupid shit, and what you're doing right now is stupid shit. All you have to do is not try and make a big deal out of it and go on and like, oh, I'm going to usurp UKIP from within. Oh, it's going to be a huge thing. I'm going to change the world. And just sit down and do some work. Because tweeting someone, oh, I bet Jim doesn't even have a suit. Look at my suit that doesn't even fit my body. Oh, yeah. It's like, why can't you just deal with the issues at hand? Why must it be such an ego trip? Soygoy seems to be very good at saying things, but when it comes to actually getting things done, it seems that's a no-go zone.
Well, Sargon, I don't understand how you standing in front of an audience in person rather than making a YouTube video is going to have any difference when it comes to dealing with SJW. Saying a blue-haired feminist is an idiot.
It does.
Okay, how does it translate? How does that?
I have no idea. I have no idea. But
is he trolling us? Like, legit, is he trolling us? It does change when you stand in front of an audience and tell a blue-haired feminist they're stupid instead of staying at home. Oh, how? I don't know.
Thomas Smith.
Then how do you know it does?
It's because he read a fucking book.
Anita Sarkeesian triggered the fuck out in VidCon after me just sitting there. Dude, it apparently really matters to them.
So you're planning on counter-protesting. You're going to go to their events.
Sometimes. I'm definitely going to host my own, though. And if they want to come to mine, they're more than welcome to come to mine.
Dude, all right. Well, you know what? Good luck to you. I still think it's a monumental mistake. I think it's going to end,
I'm sure it is.
End badly. It's cringy as shit. And dude, I think you're getting a little too high off your own ego. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that straight up.
He absolutely would tell me that.
Okay.
What? He's supposed to be changing people's minds, but all he's doing is pissing off his opposition. That's his example?
So we'll just disagree on this, I guess. I don't know how else to
I don't even
put
think
it.
there's a disagreement. I agree with everything you said. It is all of those things, but I don't think I'm being egotistical. But I'm not perfect. I mean, maybe you would see what I'm talking about, Jim. You would
No,
see
no,
exactly
you're
what I'm talking
misunderstanding. My philosophy behind being on the internet has always been anonymity. I don't want to meet
Okay.
people in real life. That kind of runs counter to what I do.
about. Yeah, I know.
Fair enough.
But imagine if you did. What do you think the people would be like? I'm absolutely committed.
Yeah, but if you're forced into it, it'd be awful. It'd be like making content that you don't want to make. It'd be like making a video you didn't want to make. You know how tough that can be.
I agree with everything you say, except the times that when I said you're so wrong and you made this whole narrative to make me out to be wrong, but I'm just right. And just the smugness about the, well, you will see what I'm talking about, Jim. Go fuck yourself. And what's his point? Imagine if you showed your face to people in real life. How that would change something? Would your opinions be different? No. Would anything really be different? Well, only the fact that now I've shown my real face. And now they know my name. Oh.
I mean, it's not like I don't want to meet people and do. I love my job. My job's amazing, but like, I wouldn't be doing it unless I had like a giant overarching incentive to do it. You know, given the opportunity, I'd rather just be a fucking lazy neckbeard in my basement making shitty video games. That would be
Yeah,
my
but
choice.
what's the incentive, though? I mean, what's there to do it in real life as opposed to just online?
You still have that opportunity. I mean, it just didn't magically go away. Please take it.
You know, I don't ever, and any American listening to this, every time, you know, I promise you will regret it if you don't.
Well, you could always convert. You can become one of the, the new members of the caliphate that's going to take over.
God, you
Jesus.
cock or something. Jesus, listen to yourself.
Come on,
I'm gonna
dude.
be manning the fucking helicopter squadrons.
Are you?
All the
You're going to go out and fight in the streets?
If it came to it, I guess. I mean, I don't want to, and I'd be terrible at it. You know.
What the fuck's this cunt talking about? He's a middle-aged, overweight guy who makes edgy videos on the internet, and he's gonna be in charge of helicopter squadrons? Please, please God, please save us. And just the arrogance of already thinking that he's going to get there. I'm gonna be in charge of the helicopter squadrons, and I'm gonna fight the good fight. Just please keep me away from debates. I just keep bleeding. I'm bleeding. And thus ends part 2 of the reckoning of Soygoy of Cuckad.